Craft kombucha may have a smaller market than beverages like beer or wine, but Aqua ViTea wants to convert a different kind of drinker.
I lived very much in a fast food and soda kind of household growing up. The two things that would make my mom run to the store is if we were out of Coke or milk. We discovered kombucha, and it was that aha moment for me of realizing all of a sudden that people are smoking on the airplane. That's how I like to describe it, is that we think back to when people could actually smoke on airlines, and it seems so ridiculous now. And at that time I thought, this is soda. We're gonna realize at some point here, what were we feeding our kids? This is ridiculous.
Aqua ViTea started small. Back in 2005, they would sell kombucha from kegs at the Middlebury Farmers Market.
And at that time, I would buy Santa Cruz juice, the 32-ounce bottles on sale at the grocery store, go home and dump out the juice, so I had bottles to put kombucha in at the farmers market.
From there, they expanded into self-serve taps at local co-ops and grocery stores.
It was local delivery routes that we were doing ourselves, dropping off full kegs, bringing back the empty ones, cleaning them, refilling them.
In 2014, they took over a 60,000 square foot facility that was last run by Woodchuck Cider. They've repurposed the cider company's old tank systems and plumbing to scale up their production. But because kombucha is made with live bacteria and yeast, controlling large batches can be a challenge.
The hardest thing about scaling it was controlling the alcohol. The more organisms you have, the more unpredictable it is. And so with beer and wine, you're usually using one type of yeast, and it's very repeatable. With kombucha, that is not the case at all, because you have potentially 5 different dominant organisms in there, and they're constantly fighting for center stage. And so your results are going to change depending on who's winning that battle at the time. You'll get more acids in one batch, you'll get more alcohol in another batch, and all these things are constantly changing.
The company has invested $1.5 million in an Australian machine called a spinning cone column. It's basically a kind of still. It draws alcohol out of the liquid without affecting its flavor. But not all kombucha companies are doing this.
Unfortunately, there's still kind of a con being played on a lot of the consumers from other kombucha brands. I would say over 70% of the kombucha products you find on the market right now are mislabeled. It's a bunch of flavorings added to make it taste like kombucha. You can buy probiotics off the shelf and add it to a drink and carbonate it and add some apple cider vinegar to it and make it taste and behave like kombucha, but it's not been craft fermented.
Aqua ViTea also runs a lab where they test the levels of alcohol and probiotics in their own products and their competitors.
You can make kombucha at home in a gallon jar really easily, and that's how most of these companies have spun up, including 2 of the largest players still just have warehouses full of 1 and 2 gallon jars. The problem is you don't have the lab equipment, the testing equipment. You can't know for sure what you're making. You're taking what you're reading on the internet as gospel, and it says that it's under 0.5% alcohol, and it turns out it's not.
Now the company is looking to take on more of those competitors. They've introduced a new line of purposely alcoholic kombucha in cans, and they're working to get their bottles into bigger retail chains across the country.
The problem is, ironically, we set out to battle Coke and Pepsi in terms of consumer choices, and now Coke and Pepsi own kombucha brands, so we're now fighting them from that angle. At the beginning, the box stores, they looked like the evil empire, that we were battling with, but now I think that's the place that we reach those consumers that are becoming educated around healthy choices for their diet.